tonight's topic will be our experience at Ratha Yatra and talking to different devotees, Nara Narayan Prabhu's God brothers, God sisters, and then we talked to some of the prominent people, some lawyers, right? We talked to the devotees who were publishing books, and we talked to the poison guy that wrote a poison, what is it, anti-poison book, and
Ramayeshwar.
yeah, and the wind blew his table away. That was interesting, right in front of us. It knocked out the whole table, and we talked.
I was able to point out that he may present a crazy book, but Krishna doesn't allow it to be seen.
Yeah,
So he knocked over the table.
that was interesting, right? Okay, so Narayan Prabhu, today we had some interesting discussions with devotees, right? And how was your experience? You haven't come here after a long time. You can say 5 years, right? Last time you were here, about 5-6 years, at least. And
well, I think 2015 was the last time I was there.
15. Okay, 6 years now. 15, yes, 6. Okay, 6 years. So, how was your experience, and what did you notice, and what do you think can be done with the situation in ISKCON?
With ISKCON, well,
yes.
It seems to me. Well, I had a wonderful conversation with what was the name of the attorney?
Akuranath.
Akuranath, yes. I had a wonderful conversation with Akuranath. Now, you'd think that a few years ago, he and I would not be able to speak to each other courteously, but we did. And then he invited me to take a microphone and tell stories about early Ratha Yatra days. And he talked, and we got along great. What am I gathering from this? Is that it's time to put down all the weaponry and to look at one another as devotees, human beings, and we can discuss it all out. Everything can be talked out and brought to the surface. This is stimulated by the fact that Hridayananda produced a tape when he was speaking with one of the leaders of the Gurukula movement, that you can create what he called an NGO. An NGO means non-government organization, and you don't really have that in ISKCON. You don't have a government, you just have a totalitarian GBC. There's no elections, nothing to make them a government outside of, going communist countries have them or stuff like that. But anyhow, but when he said NGO, he really meant an organization where you can speak openly and gather like-minded persons to your view. He said he had a problem creating something which I'm not in favor of, which is Krishna West. And the GBC didn't like it. So he got a whole bunch of people together in an NGO, meaning a group of like-minded people, and they gradually pushed the GBC into accepting Krishna West. So there's absolutely no reason why we can't push an NGO for having GBC elections, having a checks and balances to make sure that anyone who wants to initiate is an actual Uttama Adhikari, meaning a descendant from Krishna Loka. We can push for all of these wonderful things without rattling anybody's cages. I think the gurus and everybody are so old and tired now. They came out from the original batch. They're all on retirement age or post-retirement age or samadhi age.
Or they're walking their dogs.
Or walking their dog, of course. Yeah, I've met Bhagavan, and he was giving me a big hearty hug and whatnot. And we gave each other a hearty hug as we had in New Vrindavan in 1969. And he had a dog, and I said, is this your new spiritual master?
You said that?
I did, yeah.
Oh my God! You said that to him.
He laughed.
Oh, we laugh. Wow. Is that
Well,
his
why
new
not?
speech?
I mean, any former ISKCON guru or person who is uh, playing pursuing the role of ISKCON guru that has a dog certainly can laugh at the idea.
You should have initiated him back from the dog to the Prabhupada
Yeah,
disciple
well,
group.
the dog.
Yeah. Should ask, is the dog initiated? Okay, that was a joke.
It's a joke. No, I asked him if it was his guru because I mean, anytime a man has a dog, he has to obey what it wants.
Right, right.
Everyone thinks the dog is obeying them, but actually they're obeying the dog because the dog wants to poop. The man goes out, has a baggie in his hand. As soon as the dog poops, he picks it up. And if it's a woman, she puts it in her purse. If it's a man, he puts it in his pocket or in a bag
Right.
or something, you know? I
Right.
mean, it's sort of amazing, you know? And we say that is the master. And what I'd like to say is continue that whole process of picking up poop after your dog. In your next lifetime, you get to hit the jackpot. Instead of picking up dog poop, you'll become a dog and someone else will be picking up your poop.
Hmm.
Well, why
Yeah.
not? Turnabout is fair play.
Yeah.
What
That was interesting.
what goes around comes around.
Yes. So you mentioned the point that these gurus are, I mean, whatever, Kanishta initiators, we call them here, that they will be gone in the next 20, 30 years. So what is your vision for?
Not even.
Not
I would
even,
say
right?
a great number of them will be out of the picture in 5 to 10 years,
Right.
or less than 10 years.
Yes.
I mean, look, you have them. How long are they going to hang in there? You have people in their 60s and 70s as gurus. So now, when are they going to go to the happy hunting ground?
Mm-hmm. Happy hunting ground. Right.
Yeah. When are they going to be put out to pasture?
Yeah. There were some people there also looking for spiritual masters, also so-called spiritual masters. Remember that lady, that a Jewish guy there? His wife
By the way,
wanted to
there's a
take.
guy named Chitra Sen Swain that's trying to talk to me on a video. Is there any way he can be included in our meeting
Tell him to give me a
or
call.
not?
You can tell him to give me a call and we'll add him. Is he a devotee or what is he?
How does he give you a call?
Tell him,
He's
give him
in
my
India,
number.
in Bhubaneswar.
Yeah, give him my number. You know my number.
Huh?
Give him my number. Or Chitra, what is his name? I'll look him up.
Well, he goes by he goes on Messenger.
Okay. Anyways, let's continue. I'll deal with him. Nara Narayan Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
There he goes again.
Knock him out.
Oh, I did, and he keeps knocking himself back in. Shall I just connect with him and?
Yes, tell him that we're having a Zoom meeting. Why don't he comes on our Zoom meeting? Yes. Okay, Rupa Manjari Prabhu, how was your experience, Prabhu? Your
Oh, it
after
was very nice.
it was
There
nice, huh?
there
Good
were
weather,
lots of
huh?
nice. Oh, the weather was freezing cold. But
Right.
there were lots of nice devotees, and the prasadam was very nice.
These are the devotees in Folsom, not too far away from here. Wonderful devotees, Indians, mostly you saw, huh? Yeah.
Folsom, there's a temple there?
No, there's no temple. There's one devotee just running a program there. His name is Ajadas. He's a he's a very intellectual and nice devotee. So he coordinates
Oh.
with
Who?
the Berkeley Aja Prabhu. He coordinates with Jagannath Swami Prabhu ISKCON Berkeley. They did the Prasadam feast. So
Great.
they've been doing it for the past, I don't know, 7-8 years or something, or longer.
Well,
Oh, they
feast
did
was
the
quite
prasadam.
nice.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, they did a good job.
You know who we didn't talk to was the cow people.
Oh, yes, yes. We had so much people. Yeah, because we were kind of, trying to go home early next year.
We should have made a point of going on over there and dealing with them.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Rupa Manjari, anything else you want to add, Prabhu?
Oh, it was just interesting to see people's reactions to Nara Narayan.
Oh, yeah, that was very interesting, huh? How he just showed up and
I wasn't
yeah.
sure they were reacting to me. I didn't know that.
Well, you sure got a reaction from Veda Guya.
They did good. Yeah.
Vedaguya, our old friend, or your old friend.
Yes. Well, yeah. Hansaduta brought him in, and then Gupta took him over.
Okay, so
But he's printing
let's.
Prabhupada's original books. What's the bad part?
Right, yeah, we gave him that credit. So he his philosophy
Big
is little.
credit.
Yeah, big credit. His philosophy, he's stuck in the middle. Whatever that is. Next time I go to Hawaii, I'll ask him the same question. Maybe he'll have an answer to that. Of what his position is. Prabhupada is the guru, or you're the guru, or what is it?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's just Veda Guya. He's a disciple of Prabhupada, and whatever he wants to do, he can do.
But he tried it, or whatever he wanted to do. It didn't work.
What do we care?
No, you said he's part of our group, so don't we have to be on?
Well,
No,
he could be part of our group.
right? Or we can start the communication with him. Try.
No.
Okay. So it was a
I
positive
say he's part of our
experience.
group because he's printing all of these Prabhupada books.
Right.
Possibly he's just doing it to make money for himself.
Right.
If he prints hundreds of thousands of books, and if he's got 50 cents from each book, he'd be making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and Prabhupada's system was that to use that money to print more books and open centers and temples. So, right?
Yeah, well, that's BBT. You have to create a BBT before you can follow its rules.
No, but still, if he's making profit from the books, I mean, he should do it. Maybe he is doing it, but we don't know. Anyway,
well, you see, he's not working for the BBT. He's working for Krishna Books, which means was working for Hansaduta, and then when Gupta got Hansaduta kicked out, then he's working for Gupta.
Right.
And I'm sure
Gupta's
they're
the
making a
boss.
lot of money. There's nothing we can say about that will have any effect. We should do things that we can make some progress with.
Okay, so I'll load up the questions now about our that we created yesterday.
Sure.
All right. Okay, where is it? Okay. All right. Let me share the screen. Okay. Can everyone see? Can everyone see it?
I think so.
Yes.
All right. So first question is, do you ever have any doubts about any of the official policies of ISKCON? So anyone who's watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere else, they can participate in these Zoom meetings we are having every Wednesday, Saturdays, and Sundays. So you're seeing these questions, and if you have answers to it, or if you'd like to participate or give an answer or share your realization or challenge us or anything, positive or negative, you can.
Or if you have any doubts about any of the official policies of ISKCON, why not state what your doubts are or questions are?
Hmm.
We're open. We're an open page. You can write on us. You can write whatever you like, and we will respond with you and work through the issues with you, not as adversaries or as teachers, but as godbrothers and participants. We all work together.
Right. Yeah, that is a unique experience that the Sishtagoshi meetings we're having here. That's the benefit. You don't have to be a guru. Even the guru can join us, right? We got to have some gurus on the show.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Anyone could join, even if they've never been to an ISKCON temple before. They can join us.
Yes, yes, and they have. So, first question: do you ever have any doubts about any of the official policies of ISKCON?
Okay.
Yeah, certainly. I certainly have a lot of doubts about the official policies of ISKCON. If you look at
What sort of doubts?
well, first doubt is that the nectar of instruction, verse 5, the Kanishta Madhyam and Uttamadhikari, and who can be the liberated soul.
Qualified
Yes.
guru.
Yes, and then there's the direction of management, how Srila Prabhupada wanted the society to be set up, how he wanted the temples and centers to be independent. The GBC's role was just to make sure Srila Prabhupada's elected from a pool of temple presidents, and they didn't have any managerial position locally. It was all run by the temple president, the treasurer, and the secretary, and the congregation members. What else, Rupa Manjari Prabhu? I'm forgetting.
The way the money is managed, or should I say mismanaged?
Yes. Can you elaborate?
Well, Srila Prabhupada said that the account books should be laid on the front steps of every temple, and that's hardly what they do.
Yes,
and he also
complete transparency concerning how every penny or rupee is spent when donated to ISKCON.
Yeah, and he said that all of the profits from his book sales should be split 50-50. Half for printing new books and the other half for creating new temples and maintaining the existing temples. And that's not how it's done.
Right, presently, right.
That's a sensible doubt. And you see, with an NGO, meaning a group of people coming together, we're encouraging people to come together with us to discuss these things. Not that we're going to tell people what to think, or that people will tell us what to think, but we want to gather our shared concerns and then see how many people share our concerns in the membership of ISKCON and in the fringe of ISKCON, and people that used to be in ISKCON and got discouraged for some reason or other. We want to get everybody's view so we can build ISKCON back bigger and better than it was ever before.
Try. Now, Narayan Prabhu, what's your answer to number one? Do you ever have doubts about any of the official policies of ISKCON, or your observation from 1967 or 66 to?
Well,
can you just highlight them?
Is, the problem is endemic. The problem is that who is the spiritual master? If Prabhupada is just a guy that puts ideas out and everybody else decides what's to be done, then that's not my idea of spiritual master. I think the spiritual master is the absolute authority. And I look at Prabhupada realistically, considering what we've seen after Prabhupada in the form of people are trying to initiate and stuff like that on their own behalf, or on the behalf of ISKCON, that we see that the people are, they don't know what to do. So we have to go back to Srila Prabhupada's directions that he gave, orders, directions, standards, and then re-examine them for their practicality today. And see, why can't we follow what we were told from a perfect source? Now, it's Prabhupada's source is perfect. Why can we follow it? He's representing Chaitanya, and he's representing the Sampradaya. So what happened to the printed stuff? Did you take it down? Okay, here we go again.
Ramachandra, I can't hear you.
Okay, yes, there you go. I unmuted myself. Yes, okay. Okay.
Now,
So
the
yes,
third
Narayan
one,
Prabhu, you were commenting.
well, no, I finished. Who is this divine grace? On number 3.
Hridayananda Das Goswami.
What?
Well, I think that should be clarified. It looks like his divine grace. How come we didn't spell out his name?
Right.
No, I
I'll
think
spell
that's
it out.
very good.
Here, hold
We
on.
do, yeah, they should put a
Okay.
picture of him there too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So number 2,
Okay. Number 2
or are we on number 1?
or number 1. Go ahead. I would be very
Is
surprised
It's
if
being
there's
run in
anyone that wouldn't
direct
respond to
order.
number 1 that they have some doubts. Otherwise, how could they not have doubts unless they're Uttama Adhikaris themselves or pure devotees? There must be some doubt. And the doubt
Yes.
should be either that I'm being told the straight story, or I doubt that I'm being told the straight story, or I am being told the straight story, and I doubt what is being said. Therefore, we go to Istagosti to sort these things out. Now, the League for 10K, the League for the 10,000 years of the Golden Age of Kali, which is what we are on this website, on this Zoom call, are the process. We are the process for discussion. Istagosti. So if you have any doubts, you do have doubts. The question is, do you have any doubts about the official policies of ISKCON? If you don't, you must be insane or dumb or mentally retarded. How could you not? I mean, if I joined the Boy Scouts, I'd have doubts about the official policies. If I joined the military, I'd have doubts about, the United States military, I'd have doubts about the official policies. How is it possible that we would have this gun and not have doubts about official policies? We have to open the door to this type of language and discussion so that it's out in the open and that all the people with similar views, shared concerns, can express these in a more and more concentrated voice, which is the purpose of Istagosti. Istagosti is to create a united voice behind truth. But first we have to determine what the truth is. Where did it go? Did you see where it went?
Ramachandra, I'm not
Okay, it's
hearing
back.
you.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's back.
there's a
It's back here.
delay. Ramachandra, there's a large delay between your speaking and then it coming through.
Okay, now is it better? No?
There's like a
Maybe?
there's
Yes?
like a 3-second delay.
I think it's the connection.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Let me try to figure this out. Okay, you guys continue. Rupa, can you read? I'll try to figure it out.
Okay. Do you think that ISKCON is always being run in accordance with Srila Prabhupada's direct orders? No, obviously not. The big one, of course, is the direction of management, and that's a huge gap in ISKCON that's not there. Nara Narayan, do you want to say something?
Well, I mean, not just me. How about everybody that's listening in, or anybody that's a member of ISKCON, or would like to be a member of ISKCON, or who was a member of ISKCON? Do we think that it's being run in accordance with Srila Prabhupada's strict orders? Right now in the United States, we have so many people fighting to the death over issues of concerning the Constitution. The Supreme Court decides questions according to the Constitution. ISKCON doesn't have a Supreme Court, nor do they have a republic form of government the way Prabhupada created with the direction of management. And so how do we open the doors to open discussion? Well, we can have that discussion as an NGO or amongst ourselves and create a, what do you want to call it? A group, an interest group, a policy, party. We can create whatever we want to call it that will deal with these issues. And then bring them to the attention of the GBC and whatnot, ISKCON leaders of various types. Okay.
Oh, yes.
How come the
devotee mentioned in the chat that the changed books. Changed
well,
books.
yes, I mean,
Yes. One devotee commented why they don't follow instructions of Srila Prabhupada Prabhu, why they change books. What will they gain by changing books, Prabhu? They're asking.
yeah,
Should
this
we
is
not
the thing.
protest? That's a question
They
by
said that?
Arjit Das.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so
they're asking a question.
change
Yeah, why they
books.
change books? Question mark. What?
That goes back to the author of the book. Is the author competent to write his own book? We're talking about Srila Prabhupada, or we're talking about Thakur Bhakti Vinod, we're talking about Bhaktisiddhanta. Are they competent to write a book? And if they are competent to write a book, which I think there would be no point in printing their book if they weren't competent to print it, why don't people accept their competence? And why does the editor suddenly become the executor and the commander-in-chief of what is written? How can the editor take charge of what is written when the author is the person in charge? Arjit, does that work for you? So one of our questions is, yes, in our NGO, we're going to raise questions like, why do people consider that the Acharya is not competent to write a book? If he's not competent to write a book, is he competent to speak? Is he competent to create an organization like ISKCON? Is he competent to initiate? If he can't write a book, what else can't he do? If you're going to say all of those things, then why do you follow such a person? Why don't you follow John or something of that sort? Why do you not the Swami Prabhupada if you don't consider that he's competent to write a book the way he wants it? Does it make sense?
Yes.
So these are the questions that need to come out. We can put them out in terms of making polls, meaning here's a list of questions. Can you add your comments and send them in? And that way we'll be able to deal with these things and create a base of people, even amongst ourselves, voting what we feel needs to be addressed.
Okay, makes sense, Prabhu, he said. Okay, very good.
Any other posted
Let's see.
questions?
Okay, we're getting more people that are joining. Okay, just let them in. Tarak Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna, Tarak Prabhu. Jai.
Hare Krishna, bro. Dhanyavad
Jai,
Pranam.
Jai, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai, my
Thank you for
obeisance
joining
to
us.
you.
Jai. We're just discussing some questions here. I'll show you. Here we go. So, and then today we came from a Ratha Yatra at ISKCON Berkeley. This is
It's called San Francisco.
yeah, ISKCON San Francisco. Yes, we just came from the Ratha Yatra, so we're discussing these things. So if you want to chime in to any one of these, please feel free. Okay. Okay, number 3. Hridayananda Das Goswami has proposed a remedy for some of the persistent doubts and questions concerning some of the official policies of ISKCON, which have emerged over the years. So, he has proposed the creation of an NGO, unofficial interest group, in an interview with Krishna. What was the name? Krishna Devi? Krishna Devata?
It's a Devata.
We don't have to worry about the name of who it was.
Okay, yes. So this is in reference. The video is there. If anyone is
Senior
interested.
Gurukuli.
Senior Gurukuli, yes. He suggested that the Gurukulis can create NGOs that address issues that have not been addressable through the normal checks and balances of ISKCON.
And he said that he created one himself. Can you describe that?
I'm
Go
not too
ahead.
familiar with this Krishna West program. No, you're probably more familiar with that. I'm not too familiar with
Well,
this
he
Krishna
wanted
West
to create a program where everybody dressed, acted, and spoke like educated college students, not like devotees in dhotis and saris and tilak. In
And
order
ISKCON,
to propagate Krishna consciousness to people on a more basically intellectual level, not on a religious or initiation-based level.
And
of course, I don't agree with his NGO, but then again, you don't have to agree with anybody's NGO. If we create an NGO, I'm sure there'll be tons of people who don't agree with it either, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to agree and disagree what they want to agree and disagree, right? But what we want is, what we're looking for is we have a voice. Now, how can we get 10,000 devotees' voices together on these different issues? How can we get a common voice that could turn into a voting platform? We want this, we don't want that. And from our point of view, it's not just our own personal whim. We want it to be what conforms to what Prabhupada stated that he wanted. What did he order? How did he order it? How did he describe what he wanted? And how do we get to that as opposed to just power makes power, might makes, what is it? Might makes right? Is it so?
Yeah.
That if you have the power, you can cow everybody. Right now, it's
we cannot hear you. Something happened to your phone, or you got to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
okay.
There you go.
Can you hear now?
Yeah. Yes.
So ISKCON has become basically totalitarian, which means that there are ways of expressing your grievance, but it's a part of the totalitarian structure, and it does not give you any individual rights. It gives you a voice, and they give you an ear, but you have no rights, such as the Constitution of the United States or the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, so all men are created equal. Well, with the GBC, all men are not created equal. The GBC are totalitarian, and everyone else must bow down and obey the GBC. So no, all men are not created equal, which is weird considering that Prabhupada teaches us that all jivas are inherently equal. Each jiva is equal to every other jiva. Right? So how can it not be equal? But they have created not equal.
Well, your god brother Vedaguya was arguing that the system which Prabhupada set up was like a military boot camp.
Really? Where does he get that? What text or lecture does Prabhupada state that?
He was saying there was the temple president, and the temple president was the chief man, and he was a representative of Srila Prabhupada, and he is supposed to be
the temple president can change. In Los Angeles, the temple president, since Prabhupada left, probably 10 temple presidents have come and gone. And that's a very big and formerly extremely important temple. If 10 temple presidents have come and gone, then where is the issue of one temple president that's appointed for life or something like that? There's no question of that. And Prabhupada never established that. If Vedaguya says it, that is a blunder on his part, I'm afraid.
That makes sense, yes.
Well, look at all the temples in ISKCON. How many of them have the same temple president they did back in 1970 or 1980 or 1990? How many of them?
Probably just one.
Very few.
Los Angeles.
Some do, some don't. But the thing is that for the most part, the temple president goes on and becomes a sannyasi, or he goes and becomes a guru, or he goes on and preaches somewhere, or has festivals, So there's all these things that the temple president can do other than be temple president. And one of the things he can do, of course, is be elected as a GBC for 3 years. That Prabhupada gave the approval.
So there's a comment by a devotee named Arjit Prabhu here in our chat. It's saying a society formed by Srila Prabhupada for the benefit of human beings, ... To associate with devotees now becomes dangerous. Books changing and many, many more. So he's seeing this.
Well, that's a very good grievance. And if you feel that, let's keep going with those questions until we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 people that agree with you. And then we can do something about it. We need numbers. We need to be able to develop numbers of people who agree on that point. I think it's a brilliant point, an excellent point.
Okay, let's go back to the screen now. Where were we?
Number 5.
Okay, can you read it, please?
On his recommendation, NGO can be created for all members of ISKCON to give collective viewpoints.
Go ahead, Rupa, expand on it.
Well, Vidayananda is saying that if we open an NGO, we can then use the strength of numbers to build support for our cause. And our cause, well, we have several, but main cause is direction of management, that we elect a GBC.
And what about if we even just simplify by saying our cause is to scrutinize the orders of the spiritual master and correct any disparity that might be between the order of the spiritual master and what is being done by the GBC and ISKCON temples and whatnot.
Right.
Jai.
Yeah, because the totality of Srila Prabhupada's instructions all go together to create a general picture of democracy and spiritual justice for everybody. in
Yeah.
ISKCON.
Yes, that's more of a republic than democracy because the temple presidents elect the GBC. But when the temple in the first 3-year terms, when that happens, it means there's huge flexibility for the temple presidents to be autonomous, which they're supposed to be. They all know what to do. You go out and chant Hare Krishna, distribute books, and chant in the streets. What's the big deal?
Um,
And collect
in
enough money to pay the rent.
in Los Angeles, at least that temple president has been there for more than what 30 years now, or at least 25 years now, since the 90s or
Yeah,
80s. Has he
but
trained up? Huh?
he has been begging to be replaced, and nobody will let
Yeah,
him go because he's doing. I think within the context, he's doing a great job.
yeah. So he or the management has not been able to train someone up to take his position, or he should have trained 5 or 10 more guys and be like, hey, now you go open a temple there and we'll support you,
Yes,
whichever way we can. So that has not occurred, or
but
otherwise it'll be
without the
10,000.
elected GBC,
Yes.
that's not going to happen without the elected GBC.
Yeah, that's the problem. That temple president, according to you, he's a great temple president, and if he had some qualified men, he could have trained them up and sent them
No,
out
that's
to
not
open more
according to
temples.
me. That it's not. He's a great temple president according to me. Great temple president in that every time he said he wants to retire or step down, the members of the community refuse to let him do that. Not me.
Oh, okay. Members of the community. Oh, so they know if he goes, the whole temple will suffer or something like that. That's
Collapse
pretty
him.
interesting. Collapse. Wow, that's
Yeah,
very
because he's extremely good at what he does
wow.
within parameters. What he doesn't do is bigger than what he does, but what he does is more effective than this temple is, believe it or not, more effective than the Chicago temple or the Detroit temple or any of the formerly huge temples around the United States are doing nothing. They're just little havens for Durga worship or whatever by Hindu weddings.
Yeah, the standard is pretty good here, right? Los Angeles, yes.
Yeah.
At least whatever it is.
No.
Yes. Jai. Okay. Let's see.
So in our preaching, we need to encourage people we need to encourage all the people listening to our istagostis of the League for 10K. We need to encourage them to send in their issues that they think need to be dealt with.
Jai.
All their issues, whether they're members, not members, never heard of this come before, just put in what you feel the issues ought to be.
Jai.
Okay.
All right, let me put it back on the screen. Give me a few seconds here. Okay. Okay, it's back on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, then number 6 was included in this packet are items of concern to many rank and file devotees, members of ISKCON society. So that I'll post in the PDF. In the link,
Yeah.
I'll post it in the
Can
group.
you post that picture of Prabhupada with that quote in it?
Yes, 1 second. Let me load it up.
And that's the substance of what is creating our interest in the NGO. And it should create an interest in an NGO for everybody in ISKCON. Every single person in ISKCON should have access to the opportunity to express their concerns on the views mentioned above. So why not show the picture? And
okay, it's coming up. There you go. You are finished. Quote, if you concoct, I'm more intelligent than my guru, I can make
I am
additions
more
and
intelligent than my
alterations,
guru.
then you are finished. Srila Prabhupada Lecture, Philadelphia, 7/12/1975.
You see, so everybody avoids this point. They all, WBC, everything makes all these rules and everything behind as though they were representing Prabhupada. But what if they're concocting? Where is the proof that they're not concocting? Does it make sense?
Yeah. Change books. They're gonna copy on
Every
that.
issue.
Every issue, right?
Yeah, so the NGO is meant to hold the GBC accountable. But number one thing that the GBC needs to be accountable for needs to be elected.
Yeah.
So if they're not elected, then they're not accountable because it's tyranny. Totalitarian government means you don't elect. Nobody, non-representational. I didn't bring that up to Kurnoff.
We can't, we can't do everything at once. It has to be done, in bits by bits. First we have to build the relationship.
We can talk to Kurnoff on the phone. We can even invite him to the Zoom call.
Yeah,
now that we have this standard, we can invite him to participate in it.
Yes. Try. We can we invite the other guy too? Maheshwara, whatever his name is.
Which other guy?
Maheshwar.
Maheshwara.
What was the point? He's been a nutcase from the nutcase from the very beginning.
Okay. All right, so this quote, is it still on the screen? Yes, huh? You are finished. If you concoct, I'm more intelligent than my guru. I can make additions and alterations, then you are finished. This is very powerful.
That applies to everything we're talking about.
Yeah. So
I can't find how to get back onto the screen.
you gotta, what are you trying to do? Oh, start a video? Or
no, I'm trying to get back onto the Zoom call.
You are on the Zoom call.
Well, I can't see my own image.
Yeah. Okay. Just click on Zoom again. Go to your desktop.
Oh, click on Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyone who's watching this, please kindly join us next time. Our next meeting will be tomorrow. We'll start about 8 p.m. California time. And then next meeting will be Wednesday. There you go. You're back.
Oh, that was easy. I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, with the internet age, we can do so much online. We don't have to, have everyone can personally execute their sadhana wherever they are, and then participate online. And we can go to the festivals. Yeah. We can congregate at the festivals.
So we don't have to have big meetings. We don't have to have anything like that. All we need is everyone confident that. But we need to be able to get people to create a petition. Each one of these issues should have a petition where people can sign the petition one after the other. I agree with this. This is what I care about. And they should be able to put up their own concerns that we can add, if they're appropriate, to the petition. right now we have like 3 or 4 issues, which are good, but then we can add many more issues. But if we need a way for people to sign on it. This is what I believe. This is what I want. If they dare, if they don't dare, then we have to have a way of having their name and just have them as a secret voter.
Secret voter.
Well, if they're
Secret
afraid
lover.
to be identified, if they want to say something that they don't want to be identified.
But they're associating with the wrong people if they don't want to be identified.
Well, yes, but we do want to get a group, the pulse of the group, and not everyone in every group wants to be identified. That's the purpose of secret ballots.
Secret GBC meetings.
Well, secret GBC meeting simply means tyranny, or it means totalitarian government. It's like mafia. They run themselves quite well. They run what they run quite well, but they kill people and they do not have any freedom.
Yeah. That's what I've been struggling with here in locally. That there's some good people here locally, but they've been crippled by this mentality.
Well, why not run those questions back past them? But why not create a petition? Are you willing to sign this petition?
Yeah. I've tried to contact them, but
a lot of people won't, because they don't want to get banned from a temple, do they?
Yeah, or banned from, or blackballed from the congregation, or
right.
family.
That's why we have to be able to have secret,
yes,
confidential ballots that we know who they are, but we don't publish their names. If we don't know who they are, then anyone could just make up a bunch of names,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we're creating a party, like a political party or social activism party. Black Lives Matter. How did that happen? It just came out of nowhere. So we want to make devotees' lives matter.
Okay.
For some issues, and Prabhupada's instructions matter. In fact, we could even say that. We're going to make Prabhupada's instructions matter. How are we doing with time?
We have about 41 hour. Are you wanting to end early today, or what's the consensus?
No, I don't have any. I just was wondering what time it was.
Okay.
No.
So we can continue.
No objectives involved.
So I'll share the video that I took at Berkeley, so people can see. Huh?
Sure.
It's a nice video. People watching online. Right. Yes. All right. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So this is the Berkeley Ratha Yatra coming down. What street is this, Nara Narayan Prabhu? JFK Drive. Okay.
Probably JFK Drive. John F. Kennedy.
So there you go. That's the Ratha Yatra that happened today at Golden Gate Park, ISKCON San Francisco. They had 3 carts. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. This is just a video of the crowd. Devotees dancing and walking down the street. Okay. So we'll end it early today then. Thank you very much to all the devotees for joining. If you'd like to join tomorrow, we'll start about 8 o'clock California time. Please kindly attend if you can. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And if you want to join the group, there's a link in the description. You can click on that. It'll take you to the WhatsApp group. And then you can ask your questions or you can participate. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.